Well, hello everybody and welcome to another unboxing video. I'm Toby Travanor. That's the guy that's been around telco for a couple of decades, getting on 3 now. And Netgear have kindly asked me to have a look at their new Nighthawk M5. Now, this is a cellular 5G connected device that acts as a Wi-Fi hotspot as well. But what I thought we might do today is something a little bit different and go through the history of the Nighthawks. I've got with me today a Nighthawk M1 and a Nighthawk M2 as well. We might actually just have a quick look at those. Right here is a Nighthawk N1, and that happens to be the one that's connected at the moment. We're going to do a speed test on that in a second. This is a Nighthawk M2. You can see that they've been beaten around quite heavily. They've had a lot of use over the years. And I thought when we get a chance then to unbox the Nighthawk M5, the new 5G version, we'll have had a chance to actually see what the difference is. Now, I happen to be in a pretty good 4G zone, I know that. I haven't tested the 5G because I don't have a 5G device until now. So this is going to be very interesting. Why don't we first have a look at running a few speed tests on the older devices before we unbox the other one. Why don't we start with the oldest device? Still one of my favourite because it had the kind of cool little, you know, this thing here, the cool little circular screen. As you can see, yeah, there it is, fully charged up. It says a few error messages. Probably I've used up all my data, but it's one of those things because I'm on a shared plan. We'll do a speed test and we'll cut to the computer now and see what we end up getting. All right, so we've started this one. As you can see, I've got this hardwired via a little switch so that we're not having to include anything to do with the Wi-Fi connection as well. We're just doing the cellular connection at the moment. And goodness me, that's pretty good, right? That's not bad at all. And to be robust, we should probably run this test maybe 3 times and take an average, but that's pretty good. First of these is 218 down and 52 up. Let's do another one now. And I'll speed up the process, as you can imagine, in editing, just so that we don't have to sit here and watch it all going on. And as you can see, there's test number 2, a little bit faster by the looks of things, and we'll do test number 3. Well, I thought it did pretty well, to be honest with you. That was averaging around, and we'll do the calculations at the end of this video, but we're getting about 250 megabits per second down, around the 50 megabits per second up mark. So, you know what, for an older device with an older category chipset, that's pretty good. Why don't we now have a look at what's happening with the M2 before we get into the exciting bit, which of course is the Nighthawk M5. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to unplug the Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable, probably a Cat 5e cable actually, and make sure that we've got the Nighthawk, there we go, Nighthawk M2 fired up. So I'll just make sure I've got a connection here, and looks like we have, and let's have a look at the speed test of the Nighthawk M2. And so, let's hit go. Yeah, quite a bit faster because the M2's got a different chipset, different category of chipsets, but a considerable difference in speed this first time around, of pushing close to 400 megabits per second on the way down and over 100 megabits per second on the way up. I think we should do a couple of these tests just for robustness sake. And of course, by the magic of video, we'll probably speed these up so that they're nice and quick. Not the total result, that is, just the act of testing. All right, so as you can see, what we're seeing here is around 400, a little under on a couple of occasions, a little over on a couple of occasions, 400 megabits per second down and about 100 megabits per second up. So I'm now looking forward to seeing what the new Nighthawk M5 looks like. So why don't we clear the decks and open up the box and get it up and running. Okay, well here is the box. Awesome. You know, we love boxes, but a couple of things to point out, and this is, I have not opened this as yet. I literally only just cut the tabs off it a second ago. Well, it does say latest Wi-Fi technology, which will be interesting because although the speed of the cellular connection is important, we also know that the speed and how it actually works in a Wi-Fi environment is going to be important as well. Now, it does say that it is a fixed wireless modem router. What that's intending to do is describing the fact that it is being used as a device that's likely not to move around. But quite frankly, there have been many occasions where this has been in my briefcase and I've been using my laptop connected to a device similar to this one. So why don't we open it up and see what's in there? Okay, there we go. There's the box. And there is the design. Very nice. Okay, looks well, it does look like an evolution of the other two, which is pretty good. All right, in the box, as you can see, we've got the device itself. Nice, and as we look at the back, very, very similar. There is a slot for the SIM card, and obviously a large battery compartment as well. Within the box also we have a brand spanking new battery to go along with it. A little different from the last one in that the adapters, the connectors I should say, are on an extended little block there. And I might just bring up one of the older ones just so that you can see the difference. This is an older one. The older one was flush. Now that seems to me, for me, as an indication to say, okay, they're trying to crank out every last bit of battery that they possibly can. Either that, or they just want to, you know, extend the connectors deep inside the unit. All right, inside here, I'm sure will be the how do I use this? Yep, there is the standard manual. That's very nice, and lo and behold, the back, which is good. And it's nice to see a device manufacturer providing a power adapter. That might be topical at the moment. There's the power adapter, and as you can see, USB 3 to USB-C connection. Why don't we put the device together and see how it goes? All right, well, let's get the SIM card in and put it all together. Hopefully it's got a bit of charge, but we can always charge it up pretty quickly. Now, by the looks of things, as you can see here, that it's not a micro SIM anymore, it's a nano SIM slot. A bit different from the old ones, so let's get rid of the frame for that. Pop in the SIM as so. The battery goes in pretty easily. There you go. And why don't we stick the cover on? And it looks like it's just a snap together. Yeah, it is. Turn it over and power up. Now, interesting this time that the older unit, the M2, had a button that was kind of had no tactical feel to it. It was just a button, and now this one actually does. You might be able to hear it. Does have the ability to push it in. Now it's got no power, so let's plug it in and fire up. Okay, while it is powering up a little bit there, one of the things that I can see down the bottom, if I can pull it off, and it'll still allow you to see it, there are some slots there for external antenna, as you can see. All right, all of the units have had that one, and this one is no exception. All right, now it's powering up, and you can see it says 5G. Let's see how long it takes to turn on. Nice little animation, 5G animation taking place. All right, now it's going through. Congratulations on purchasing your Nighthawk mobile router. All right, I think you can see that. To use your mobile router, we will first set up the Wi-Fi name and password, and then secure your settings with an admin password. All right, let's go. That's fairly easy to do. Now, of course, I'm doing this upside down, which is a lot of fun. Customize your Wi-Fi. We do recommend that you change the default credentials to your own custom credentials. Right now, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it going as is. And it now says right here, create the admin password for your hotspot. It says skip and use the default admin password, create admin password. Now, of course, when I do this again, after this video, I will set all this up. But for now, for speed, let's just do skip. And then it says battery power save feature. Oh, that's pretty good. To preserve the battery, the Wi-Fi will automatically turn off after 5 minutes if no devices are connected. Okay, tapping the power off button. Power button will also wake up Wi-Fi from standby. So again, I'm not going to customize for now. All right, but there it is. We've got a Wi-Fi name, a Wi-Fi password. Of course, the admin name is admin and admin password is password for now. Let's go to dashboard. And there we go. And now you can see, you can tell already for the people who are very clever, this is a very old SIM card because you can see I've got like 100 meg on it. Being that I'm on a very much a shared plan with my carrier right now, you can tell that at the moment, although that 100 meg is going to disappear pretty quickly, with about 700 gig in total, I'm going to probably smash this pretty well. So let's have a look and see if we can get it to fire up. All right, I'm going to bypass the Wi-Fi of this as we've done already, and I'm going to plug it in and see what we get. So let's plug in the Cat 6 cable, Cat 5e. Could be any of those into the RJ45 port, and then fire up the laptop and see how we go. And this is the exciting bit, really. I'm really keen to see how we go. Now, I did check beforehand to ensure that I had a 5G coverage, and it does seem that I'm right in one of the 5G areas. So let's see what the test brings up. So here's the thing. I'm all excited about testing the Nighthawk M5, and I'm getting a signal that's the same speed as 4G. And then I went, well, hang on a sec, that's the speed. Why don't I have a look at the device? And I looked at the device and it only had 4G on it, not 5G. So first thing comes into my mind is I better check the coverage. And I checked it again and I thought, well, maybe we're right on the edge. I'll hop in the car and take the device into an area where I know is 5G, and sure enough, it's 4G only. After a lot of playing around with settings, racking my brain, I finally tweaked that the SIM card is a data-only card that's not on the right plan with my carrier. It's not on a large or an extra large plan. It's just an extra data card. So of course, 5G is not enabled on that SIM. So if you haven't worked out that my beard is slightly now shorter and my hair's changed a little bit, a few days have passed and I've managed to put in a 5G enabled SIM. So let's test it now and see what we get. All right, so of course in post-production we're going to speed the tests themselves up, but not the results. And this is better. This is much better. Okay, so we've hit 700 megabits per second. It's doing very, very well. This first one has come through at, there you go, 758 on the download. And let's see if it gets similar speeds to 4G. And yes, there it is. All right, let's have a look at the second test for robustness. We'll do it again. Oh, we're so close to hitting the 800 mark on the download, and we've come in at 778 and again around the 88 mark on the way up. Let's try again. Let's see if we can get the elusive 800 megabits per second. Oh, it's close. It's close. There it is. And that's pretty good at 816 megabits per second on the way down, and what looks like a similar speed, 86.9 megabits per second on the way up. Now that's pretty good. All right, with speeds like that and with results like that, it's very clear that this new Nighthawk M5 is going to be my device of choice. Now let's face it, in real world conditions, what I mean by real world conditions, when you're just using it normally, we're not necessarily going to have speeds that fast. I'm using Speedtest, which is clearly designed to get the best out of a device. I'm using a server on Speedtest, which seems to be one of the fastest ones. And I don't know if I'm being affected by too many other people on this particular cell tower. I'm close to the cell tower, and I don't seem to have very much interference from anything else. The signal coverage is fantastic. So Real life speeds can vary, but you'll find that the speeds are going to be pretty good. So remember, distance from tower, signal strength, amount of other users on the tower will all make a difference. But look, quite frankly, if this is an indication of what 5G can do, it's fantastic. Thanks again to Netgear. I hope if you end up getting one, that you enjoy it as much as I have. Do a speed test too and just see if you can beat my number.